want to make a podcast, Spotify's got a platform that's going to let you make one super easily. And then you can distribute it everywhere and even earn money doing this. All in one place. And it's free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters. Here's how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and even edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and everywhere else podcasts are heard.
Ever since we discovered Spotify for Podcasters, it's been really great. Really get the people involved and ask questions and get ideas for new podcasts. So it's really helped us. And I highly recommend you give it a try. So download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started.
If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
In Dallas, Texas, 3 shots were fired at President Kennedy's motorcade in downtown Dallas.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
You don't know what you're talking about, sir.
Because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got. If you don't like what we tell you to believe in, we'll kill you.
All right, kids. Listen.
Don't
Podcast,
listen to this.
if you're not of age.
What's of age?
Of age is like you can make your own decisions in life without parental guidance. 18
16?
18. We're not in Atlanta.
Georgia is 16.
We're not in Atlanta. That's what I said. We're not in Atlanta. This is 18 and up. Look,
Atlanta.
we're a bunch of dudes, and we're going to say some really bad words, and probably some things that might offend you. But
Don't listen to this.
can't wait till you listen.
Yeah, don't.
If
do
you're
it.
18 and up.
Don't do it.
If you're 18 and
Yeah.
up.
This is Eric, Sean, Jorge. Say hi, guys.
It's going to be a good one today.
Oh, we got the gang here, boys.
Notorious.
Who the fuck is this paging me at
5:46
Is it
in the
5 or
morning.
is it 5 or 9?
5:46.
5:46 in the morning. Crack of dawn and now I'm yawning. Wipe the cold out my eye.
So we just finished Tupac Shakur and, Tupac and
Tupac.
Biggie,
They are synonymous with each other.
Yeah,
That's right.
I mean, they're tied together forever. I don't know what to say.
Yep. It's part of the same story.
Yeah.
So we did,
we're assuming the
was
same
it a two-parter, right? That
We did Tupac and a two-parter. So if you haven't listened to the Tupac episode, I would suggest you do that because
Totally.
we do talk a lot about Biggie.
There is
Right,
yeah.
right.
You know what I mean? And there's a lot more about the East Coast, West Coast situation.
Yes.
And so I decided not to go into it as much in this episode because
We already talked.
we
about
already did 2 hours worth of East Coast, West Coast. Here we go, right? So
That's right. And
So-
and in the other episode, I asked you guys if Tupac was the GOAT. Question for you, for both of you. Which one do you like more, Tupac or Biggie?
Tupac, 100%.
Okay.
Tupac, sorry.
I'm sorry.
Me too.
To all the Biggie fans
Sorry.
out there, it's not a diss against Biggie. Biggie's great. I just think Tupac was better.
Yeah.
That's just me.
But
and it's
today
not-
we're going to talk about his
We're-
death and
we're-
his
yeah.
conspiracy around that.
That's right. So Notorious. Biggie was born Christopher George Latour Wallace.
Wow, he's got a four-namer.
Damn.
Is he
Not
Spanish?
Not even us Mexicans. That's what I was going to say.
I was like, Jorge's the only one I know with four names.
Exactly.
So he's known as Notorious B.I.G, Biggie Smalls,
Christopher George
Biggie.
Latour. Sorry.
He's got a couple aliases,
He does? Oh, yeah.
Biggie, Biggie
Notorious
Smalls.
Yeah, Big Papa,
Yeah, but he is considered one of the greatest rappers of all time. I would say
I'm sure he's in
the
that
category.
He's in that category of like 50 guys that are like
50.
There's a
Damn.
lot, there's a lot
20.
of rappers, bro.
20.
Oh, 20?
Top 20.
I would put him up there in top 10.
I'm just
Top
saying,
10.
and I'm just
Is it
saying
top
he's
10?
in a group that are considered the greatest rapper. Like, there's
Well, yeah. But is he in the top 10?
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. I put him at
10.
like 8.
Yeah.
I put him like 8.
Yeah.
My problem is I could probably only give you one song. Do you know what I mean? Like I could probably give you 5 Tupac songs, but I could
Yeah.
only probably give you one.
I think he only came out with like,
Biggie.
3 albums?
Yeah, it
or was
wasn't
it
a lot.
2?
It was
It was the first one. I forgot what it's called, but I think it was just Biggie Smalls. I think, or
I'll do a little
and then
search.
Life After
Well,
Death.
this is part of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
We'll go into it. Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
So
into it.
Christopher George Wallace was born at St. Mary's Hospital in New York City in Brooklyn. May 21st, 1972. He was the only child of Jamaican immigrants. So his mom, Valletta Wallace, was a preschool teacher. She was Jamaican. She's got that thick Jamaican accent. You know what I mean?
Right near the beach. Boy!
Irie.
What? Well, I'd be from Jamaica, man. Lord have mercy.
I didn't know that though.
Jamaica, we got the bobsled team. We got the one Teresa, one Senka.
No, that was definitely not.
You know, you can't believe. The Cool Runnings, what a classic.
Oh my
Classic
gosh.
movie. And just so we know, this just to put it out there, he had 2 studio albums,
Yep.
3 posthumous albums, which means after his death, and then 2 compilation albums. So, like I said, it was a compilation
Well,
of all of
compared
his
to
work.
Tupac, I think he's still coming out with albums.
I'm gonna say 3,
Yeah.
but like he made 3. He made more albums after his death than he did
it's
while he
crazy.
was alive.
That's crazy.
It's so
That's
weird.
crazy.
All right, so continue.
All right.
So
Jamaican.
Valletta Wallace was a preschool teacher. His father, Selwyn George Latour, was a welder.
Like humble upbringings. I like this.
But his father left the family when he was 2,
Oh, that sucks. God damn it.
and his mom worked 2 jobs to raise him, essentially, while he was
What a
being
dick.
raised. Yeah. Wallace excelled at Queen of All Saints Middle School. He won several awards as an English student. He attended St. Peter Claver Church in the Brooklyn borough. He was nicknamed Big because he was overweight before he was even 10.
Yeah.
Biggie claimed that he started selling drugs at around 12.
Damn.
Damn.
I mean, this is the Bronx in like the 80s.
No, it's Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. My
Same
bad,
shit,
bro.
same
It's
shit, right?
fucking New York.
Yeah.
It's just New York.
I don't
He
know.
grew up in the projects.
Our New York audience would not
us.
agree.
Oh,
yeah.
They
They-
would not
they-
agree that
they
it's the same shit.
They all just turned the episode off.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. By the way, New York, shout out.
Ayo.
Our number 2 audience.
I was actually born in Manhattan,
Yo.
so there's that, you know.
Were you? I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
I moved when I was a baby, though.
Really?
I was born at Mount Sinai Hospital.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Manhattan.
That is actually crazy. We're going to go into that a little bit later. Dude, interesting.
I was born right next to
Interesting.
Biggie.
Okay, so he began rapping as a teenager, and he would actually entertain people on the streets, and he performed with local groups. One group was called the Old Gold Brothers.
Sounds like a fucking quartet.
His earliest stage name was MCC West.
God, like just like Tupac.
The
They
name
just like
so
Tupac.
way.
Do you remember?
MC New York.
No, yeah. You remember? That's strange because he was in New York and his name was MCC West, and Tupac was in the West
true.
Coast.
And he was
It
MC
New York.
It's so
Doesn't even make
weird.
sense. Everybody like grass is greener.
It's so weird.
Yeah. Wallace transferred from Bishop Memorial High School in Fort Greene to George Westinghouse and to Technical Education High School in downtown Brooklyn. What's crazy, and I just wanted to put this in here, Jay-Z and Busta Rhymes were attending.
Oh wow, they all went to the same high school.
Same high school.
That's wild.
I didn't know that.
Holy
Isn't that
shit.
crazy? Yeah. At age 17, Wallace dropped out of high school and became more involved in crime.
It was like full-time drug dealing.
Yeah, that same year, which was 1989, he was arrested on weapons charges in Brooklyn, sentenced to 5 years of probation.
Oh, okay.
But in 1990, he broke probation
Yeah.
and he was arrested in North Carolina for dealing crack.
Oh, what the fuck was he doing in North Carolina?
So then
horrible.
he spent 9 months in jail before he finally made bail.
God, sounds like the worst possible job.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather work in the sewers than to sell crack.
How much? This sounds crazy, but
Made
like,
a
is
song
there?
about the 10 crack commandments.
Oh,
Did he?
Yeah.
I think I just like forgot.
Do you know
that, so-
any of the? Do you know any of the crack commandments?
Don't get high on your own supply.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I wouldn't be surprised if that's kind of
It's
where
like-
it came from.
First commandment: don't smoke crack.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't get high on your own supply. All right. Wow.
Don't do crack.
Yeah.
First
So
step.
Crack is whack.
Crack is
After his release from jail, Wallace made a demo tape, and it was called the Microphone Murderer. And that was the first time he called himself Biggie Smalls. And apparently there was a movie called Let's Do It Again in 1975 where this actor named Calvin Lockhart, his character was named Biggie Smalls. And this was with Sidney Poitier, and Bill Cosby. And so then he had a character in there where he looked like a pimp. He had a cape.
Oh yeah, well, it's like purple horse.
Yes, exactly. And his
Yeah,
name,
cane.
his name in that was Biggie Smalls.
Oh, so it's copyright infringement.
Yeah. So he kind of like dug it, I guess, and he was like, yeah, you know. At that point, he was 6'3" and 350 pounds.
Dude, guy's a
Massive.
guy's a left tackle.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's the reason they call him Biggie.
No shit.
Yeah.
It's massive.
Yeah.
Imagine me with an additional 160 pounds.
You're 6'3"?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Eric, yes.
Ish.
I am.
6.
Are you serious? If I'm 6 feet tall, that makes you like 5'2".
You know what's funny?
No,
What's
you're
funny
definitely
is
6'3".
guys have like this thing. If you attack their height, they're so mad.
It's so
It's so mad.
Well, you stand on your tippy toes every time you stand next to me.
It's so true. No,
really
very
do.
true. It's very true. Unsigned Hype dedicated an airing to promising rappers, and they featured Biggie. And that's where Sean Puffy Combs heard the demo tape. So Sean Puffy Combs was with A&R department of Uptown Records, and he arranged at that time to meet Biggie, and then he signed him to Uptown. Then they released one song where he was on it. I'm not gonna say it. Sean will do the honors.
The song is called "A Bunch of Niggas."
Yeah, I can't say that.
Yeah, like,
I can't say
I was waiting. I was like, "Is Eric gonna read it?"
No, I'm not gonna read it.
I'm like looking
Yeah,
at
I'm
it,
not
like,
gonna read it.
please say it.
Yeah.
You're canceled.
White people are terrified of that word.
Of course they are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
terrified. Absolutely.
Well, my,
Unless you're like,
I let my dad say it. He married a very black woman, so he's allowed to.
He released that, and he was on that song, right? So
Puffy
at
was
that-
on that song.
like they both did appearances.
Puffy was
Okay.
the backup dancer in the
Yeah.
song.
Yeah.
So, but then Puffy was fired from Uptown,
Because he
right?
sucked at his job.
And so a week later, he launched something called Bad Boy Records.
Mm.
And instantly, Biggie followed him to Bad Boy, and he was signed to Bad Boy. Yeah.
I can't imagine that like P. Diddy had like a lot of financial backing at that time.
Yeah.
I
It
don't
was like
know.
crack money.
I don't know how they did that.
Look,
They were
I'm gonna
just kinda
pay.
like-
I'm gonna give you an IOU.
Yeah, they
Trust me on this.
That's
So-
how JC got started, right? With his fucking drug money.
Jay-Z?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Really?
100%. Oh yeah.
It's another
Jay-Z was a
episode.
drug dealer?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, 100%.
So, before he was a billionaire, he was
Really?
dealing drugs in
Really?
fucking New York.
That's how he started, what's it called? Rock, not Rockfellas. What's the fucking?
Yeah, Rockefeller Studios.
Rockefeller
Records.
Studios,
Yeah,
that's right, yeah.
whatever it is. Yeah.
All right. All right. So on August 8th, 1993, Jan Jackson, which was Biggie's long-term girlfriend, gave birth to his first child, Tiana. They were broken up by them, but he did become a father in 1993 at the age of 21.
Classic.
Yeah. So then he was dropped out of school. You know, he said he was
He's got a hot track record.
Sitting on the
School
corner.
dropout, selling rock and
Selling rock.
so he
And
kept
rapping.
selling. So while he was rapping, he kept selling drugs.
It's
And
good,
then
it's good money. Good income.
apparently Puffy found out about this and got him to stop. Then Biggie did a remix with Mary J. Blige, and that's when he kind of started to get bigger.
Yeah, I mean, Mary J. Blige, she's been the shit for a long time.
Yeah. So
Oh, Real Love. That's what it was. Yeah.
yeah, it was called Real Love.
Looking for some real love.
Well, right around that time, she had done one with Method Man.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That- what's
that's
the name of that
right.
one? You're all I need, or
Yeah,
all I need,
yeah,
or
it's
whatever,
like-
and that shit took off.
Really?
So
Yeah,
it's
she
like-
was hot
Yeah, it's
in
like-
the because she was very much like R&B,
Yeah.
right? And then she started just collaborating with all these rappers. So if you collaborated with her, you're
in.
You blew up.
Yeah, you're in. Yeah. Well, so around this time, this is when Biggie.
Yeah, it is all I need, by the way. Yeah.
Around this time, this is when Biggie became friends with Tupac.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They were homies.
Yeah, that's right. Apparently, Biggie was frequent guest at Shakur's home, and they spent time together in California, as well as Washington D.C. And some say that Biggie was inspired by Shakur, and inspired like his music kind of came, there was
Yeah,
inspiration
because
there.
I think because Biggie's crack bitches, and Tupac was more like a poet, and he's like, oh, this is pretty tight. I can do that.
Yeah. And don't forget
Tupac was also like cracking bitches.
And don't forget, Biggie excelled in.
No, he wasn't a drug dealer.
No, but he still rapped about.
He was more like a
Mama was
thug.
a crack fiend.
Mama was
a crack fiend.
No.
Gangster shit.
Yeah. So on March 23rd, 1996, Biggie was arrested outside of a Manhattan nightclub for chasing and threatening to kill 2 fans who were trying to get his autograph.
Damn.
He smashed the windows of their taxi cab and he punched one of them.
That's a really extreme reaction.
Yeah.
I really love your music.
We don't know what happened. Like, we don't know the story. Yeah, they were probably assholes. I mean, I'm assuming.
You would presume.
But he pled guilty to second-degree harassment.
Oh, okay. That's
not bad.
That's not like attempted murder.
So he was sentenced to 100
attempted rape like Tupac.
Yeah. So he was sentenced to 100 hours of community service.
Which I guarantee he did not do. I have a bet cash that
I'm not sure what he did.
He did not serve the community.
Yeah.
So a few months later, though, he was arrested in New Jersey at his home for drug and weapons charges.
Like, clearly the 3-strike program was not in place at this time. It's like the strike 6.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Okay, so this is the time period where Tupac and him kind of had a falling out.
Because this is 96.
This is 96 now.
Right.
So this is also when that shooting happened. Remember the shooting at the
in New
recording
York?
studio? Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember
So
that.
this is when that happened, and then this is when Tupac released "Hit 'Em Up," which was a diss track saying
Oh, yeah.
he fucked
Fuck,
Faith
I hit him
Evans.
up. You see
Yes.
you old gangster when I fucked you, whatever. Say
Yes,
you're playing.
exactly. Yes.
Fuck
So-
y'all. He was like dissing everybody.
Yeah,
not just...
say you're bad boys, man. Fuck for life.
Yes. And then Biggie replied essentially on Brooklyn's Finest, which he was talking about. If Faye had twins, she'd probably have 2 Pacs. Get it? Anyways, whatever.
I think Tupac is a little bit better.
Yeah,
But,
for sure.
Yeah, but he also said in an interview, because they asked him, they said, what was that about? And he said, it's not his style to respond to like rap disses.
battles.
So
yeah,
he-
to
so-
rap
so
battles.
thing is,
they were
he
like,
had-
why
he-
was your response so
he had to
lame?
respond something. That's the culture in rap. You have to.
Oh, yeah, 'cause you can't
If somebody
get-
disses
no.
you, you're gonna have to.
I mean, look what
shoot
happens
back.
to everyone who talks shit to Eminem. My God. He comes out with a fucking murder track that just vaporizes all
Oh
enemies.
my god.
That's why I'm like, God, Eminem's best shit is like, keep talking shit about him, please.
Yeah, I know, right?
The shit he comes
Somebody
back with
else,
is so
please talk shit
dope.
about Eminem.
Okay, so now we're at September 96, and this is when Tupac was shot. So Tupac was shot in a drive-by in Vegas, and like we said, if you haven't listened to the episodes before, check those
it
out because those are very important. So that's where we are now, right? Rumors of Wallace's involvement with Shakur's murder, though, spread, and
Well, he was the number one suspect in the, call it the rap community or whatever,
Oh,
for sure.
they're like, yeah.
Because of the whole East Coast, West
beef,
Coast.
and it was like,
Yeah.
a report came out basically saying or suggesting that it was like a Crip, Southside Crip Compton gang, and he supplied the gun to make it.
he's like, I want to be involved.
Yeah, and so that was the initial thing that happened, right?
He like wrote his name on a bullet. And I
Yeah,
was like, yes,
and
fucking
so so this is what Faith Evans said, right? Evans remembered her husband calling her on the night of Tupac's death and crying from shock. She said, I think it's fair to say he was probably afraid, given everything that was going on at the time and all the hype that was put on his so-called beef that he didn't really have in his heart against anyone.
Oh, so he's like, oh shit, they're coming for me next.
Yeah,
He knew something was up.
So his co-manager at the time, Wayne Barrow, said Wallace was recording the track Nasty Boy that night. So he wasn't in Vegas.
Okay,
That's
so
what
it's
they're
like
saying.
physically impossible for
Yeah.
him. It's a great alibi.
Yeah.
No. Well, I don't think I never heard of him personally
Being there.
doing the hit or whatever.
Yeah.
He like
yeah.
FedExed
Well,
down
I mean,
there.
I-
But we're gonna get into it because was
but-
he involved is
But
another story.
I put that in there because that is a witness saying he was in New York.
Okay.
Oh,
saying he
perfect
was-
alibi.
Yeah. My manager.
He wasn't there. Yeah.
I'm paying him. He was in the studio, I swear.
Okay, so 2 days after Tupac died, Wallace and Little Cease was arrested in Brooklyn.
Little C's.
Little Caesar.
Little C's?
Little
Little
Cease.
Yeah, little C, a little C's. Oh, like Caesar. Yeah, little
Yeah, it's
C's.
Little
Little
Caesar.
Cease, yeah. They were arrested in Brooklyn for smoking weed in public, and they had their car repossessed.
Yeah, it's definitely not 2023, boys. Sorry.
Yeah. So that was 2 days after Tupac got killed.
Okay.
So the
It's
next
his
day,
20th charge.
Yes.
Strike 20.
Strike 20 out.
So the next day, the dealership chose them a Chevy Lumina rental SUV as a substitute for their repossessed car. Yeah.
What a hot substitute.
Yeah,
I got this dope Chevy Lumina with your name on it, brother.
Lowell Cease objected.
He's like, this sure sucks.
Right? The vehicle had brake problems, but Wallace just dismissed them and just said, take the car. Later that day, the car collided with a rail in New Jersey, and it shattered Wallace's left leg.
He's like, I told you this brakes were fucked up.
Lil Cease's, fuck, I hate saying Lil.
Little C's.
Lil
C's.
Cease's
Lil Cease.
jaw, and leaving, anyways, with many injuries. So he had a car accident 2 days later, basically.
Oh, so damn, it shattered his jaw and his leg?
Yeah.
Wow, damn. That must have been going
so-
fast as fuck.
So
Damn.
Biggie spent months in a hospital, and he was temporarily confined to a wheelchair and forced to use a cane.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a lot of weight on those. If he got, like...
I don't remember that. I don't know about you guys, but
Yeah.
I remember him being in the hospital for that. I do remember the cane.
Yeah.
Because afterwards he
Yeah,
came
yeah.
out with like music videos.
He was like,
He's
it's all
got
part of
cane
my
and-
facade.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's part
Who
of
the
my.
fuck is
It's part of
this?
my pimp cane.
I know, I'm a pimp. It's like, we bring my wheelchair around.
So then, right before Halloween in October '96, Evans gave birth to Wallace's son, Christopher C.J. Wallace Jr. So he's now a father of two.
Nice.
Yeah. So early 1997, Biggie Smalls was trying to squash the East Coast, West Coast rap feud. And everybody thought that the murder of Tupac kind of fueled it to even more.
Made it even more.
And so he was, I don't want
Like
to do this
everybody
anymore.
wanted revenge, or
Yeah, and he was like, this is getting out of control.
He's like, I know I've got kids,
Yeah.
bro. I don't want to die.
Yes, exactly. So now that he's the father of a young son and another child, he recently removed himself from, so he was walking around with a cane. So he finished his sophomore album for Bad Boy Entertainment called Life After Death.
Interesting.
one of the best.
Yeah, he traveled to
Interesting,
LA.
interesting choice of name, Life After Death.
Well, it's like Tupac. Interesting
I
that
know.
he called it Machiavelli.
Machiavelli.
I know. What's their fascination with that?
I don't know. It probably just wanted
Just
to
living
probably
the fast life, man. You know you're gonna die
Living
at some
life.
point if you're living like that. Shit.
I'm living the fast life, baby.
So March 5th, 1997, Biggie did a radio interview at the Doghouse in San Francisco on KYLD. He spoke about how he needed to hire security because he was fearing the safety of himself and his family.
Yeah, it's weird. Why go to Cali just to do like a radio interview?
Well, no, I mean, he's doing a tour.
Yeah,
You know
okay.
what I mean?
Okay, that
Like
makes
he's
sense.
he's
Yeah.
doing things.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
And he's trying to squash it. So he's like,
squash the beef.
let me go
Peace.
over there. Let me talk to these peeps and
Yeah.
hopefully like put a little, I don't know, little PR.
Little goodwill. Like,
Yeah, little-
Yeah. 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 So he originally planned to go to Europe, but he canceled. And he found himself at the Westwood Marquis Hotel on March 8th.
Sounds like a fucking jank ass hotel. The Westwood Marquis. I mean, you probably got hookers at that hotel for sure.
According to his agent, Phil Casey, they spent most of the day discussing plans for their upcoming tour, but they spent so much time in the hotel, he was itching to get out. So the rapper convinced his crew to head to an industry party at the Peterson Automotive Museum in the Miracle Mile district. And this was sponsored by Quincy Jones's Vibe magazine.
Nice.
Yeah.
Quincy Jones.
Yep.
Puffy later recounted that attending a Jones party on the outskirts of Beverly Hills seemed like a safe move as it wasn't
Well,
quite
it's,
in downtown.
but it's also interesting
what I mean?
that like Quincy Jones's daughter was
Yes.
dating Tupac. So
Yes.
it's also like a weird,
True,
like,
true,
it's
true,
like, you know,
true. Right.
the connections here.
So much connections. Yes. Yes. Okay. So then they go to this Soul Train Awards after party that was hosted by Vibe at the museum. Right. Tons of famous people are there. Aaliyah's there.
Oh wow! God rest R.I.P. Yeah, everyone's
Yeah, I
dead.
know, right?
Jesus.
All these members of the Bloods and the Crips snuck.
Yeah,
It was a-
it's like, this
was
is a
a
huge
crazy
event.
party.
That's
yeah,
pretty
it was
awesome.
a rad party, and
Except for the gang members.
and Biggie was. It was noted that Biggie was drinking Dom Perignon.
Of course he was.
and Missy Elliott was there.
All right.
Champagne every day.
And they were, and every like 10 minutes they were playing Hypnotize, and they were just having a good time, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure.
so around midnight to 12:30, the venue became cramped and overcrowded, and the fire department came.
They're like, get the
And they said, this is too much. This is out code now. Close it down. Okay. So
That's when you know it's a party, man.
I know when they get
the
shit
fire
like
marshal.
Fire Marshal Bill's coming in. Shut this shit down.
Fire Marshal Bill.
let me tell you something. So Puffy and Biggie, they, I guess, trickled out with the rest of the partygoers, and they paused to pose for photos before, of course, turning their stereo up, blasting their tracks, right? So they decided to head back to their hotel. Puffy jumped into the first of 3 cars that had several bodyguards in it. Biggie settled into the front passenger seat of the second car,
Okay.
a green Suburban.
Okay.
He was with G Money, which was his drivers,
Nice.
and 2 of his friends. So at approximately 12:45 a.m., Puffy's SUV blew through a yellow light. Right, so Biggie's following him.
Yeah.
He was in the
And
lead.
he was like,
he was in
"Yeah,
the lead
fuck it,
car.
I'm the
He's
go."
like,
Right?
punch it.
Yes, and then Biggie's car was idling at the intersection of Wilshire and Fairfax. Then
And another one, right?
And
You said
another
there's
car
3.
behind.
There's another car
So
behind,
two
right?
SUVs of the way.
So then suddenly a white Toyota Land Cruiser made a U-turn and tried to squeeze in between the 2 cars.
Weird.
Weird.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fucking sketch.
Right at that moment, a dark Chevy Impala pulled up next to Biggie. The driver was an African-American man in a blue suit and a bow tie.
Damn, look classy.
He made eye contact with Biggie before reaching over and emptying his automatic pistol in the car.
Fuck.
The shooter sped off on Wilshire. Meanwhile, Puffy he jumped out of his SUV. He raced across the street to the green Suburban, where he found Biggie hunched over, tongue out, bleeding all over the dashboard.
And see, that's okay. That's the one thing I don't know. I guess maybe it's like I'm already kind of partial that Biggie. I mean, that Puffy's got
Was
something,
there?
that's something to do with it. But who you hear like shots go out, and I'm gonna get out of my car and run across into the fire. He's not a fucking Navy SEAL.
Right.
I just don't see him like. I don't know. Maybe
No, but
I'm wrong.
you don't got to be
It's
a Navy
very
SEAL. It's like
dramatic.
it's his friend. Let's say that happened between me and you. You'd probably want to be like, oh, shit, what the
Jump
fuck
out?
happened?
Yeah,
And also, by the way,
that's a good point.
it's
I'd
done.
probably
It's
jump
done
out.
already. The shots are done, and the guy sped off.
Yeah.
So you're like, fuck, I got to go over there and check it out.
Well, see, it's a little different because luckily, with I'm a character SEAL.
Yeah, that's
We're
right.
ready to roll. I'm popping shots off.
Let me put my Navy SEAL hat on.
I know. That's it.
Run
I've
over
done-
there.
I've done training courses in my mind.
in my mind.
I'm sure, though.
You know,
I'm
I
sure.
have watched plenty of Navy SEAL
Call of
movies.
Duty.
Okay.
Yeah. I watched Terminal List.
I've seen John Wick 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Let's go.
Odds are that Puffy had
A gun on him
on
for
him.
sure.
Yeah.
That makes
Odds
actually
are.
makes
Yeah.
there's a
Odds are in his favor.
98.9% chance.
Okay, so the driver of Biggie's SUV floored it to nearby Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, where it took 6 people to lift Biggie
It's 350 pound man.
6'3".
onto a
6'3", 350.
onto a gurney.
And like dead weight's the worst weight.
and they sent him immediately into surgery. But unfortunately, the 4 bullets that hit him had already done the damage, and he was pronounced dead at 1:15 a.m.
Fuck.
He was 24 years old.
It's so young.
His autopsy wasn't even released for 15 years, but when it was released, the final shot was the one that killed him, and it entered through his right hip, and it struck his colon, liver, heart, and left lung all in one bullet.
Shit.
Yeah,
Wait, colon, liver, heart, and
and left lung.
how the
Yeah.
fuck did he hit the ass? Like he shot from.
I don't necessarily know.
Maybe it was
It wasn't necessarily his
maybe it was like
ass.
bent over and like it hit through here, hit
Yeah.
the colon, and then goes up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Where they had one of those magic bullets like they did with JFK.
It hit every organ in his body.
Biggie back and to the left. Back and to the left. So now here's an interesting point, though, that is in comparison to Tupac. Okay. So when he died, his estate was estimated around 10 million.
Not 100, not 100K.
Yeah. Weird, huh?
That is
That's
weird.
weird.
That is super
I
weird.
mean, their
Especially 'cause-
trajectory was pretty much the same.
Well, and Tupac had more albums out.
That's right.
It's just like Suge fucked him.
I know, exactly. Going back to that.
Yeah, like the contract that he made to get him out of jail, I think he probably got most of the
Signed
profits.
his life away, literally.
They're probably like, hey, I'll get you out of jail, but I'm going to get majority of the profits from this.
There you go. That's the murder of Notorious B.I.G. So that was only 6 months or so after Tupac, and the world was
I know.
shook. It was different than Tupac. Tupac lived for a few days,
Yeah.
Right.
and so Biggie was just dead.
Yeah.
And
he
also-
died about an hour after he got shot.
I wouldn't say that people expected it, but it was kind of like, it's not a shocker because of the whole East Coast, West Coast, and somebody got revenge,
He clearly told his wife that he was scared. Like, he was scared for
Got
his
more
life.
security and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, he was paranoid. I remember him talking about that and, getting more security and just always just paranoid.
Yeah.
Couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
And this is obviously before they were, we can just bulletproof murder this car's out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, it just sucks. He's so young, 2 kids. Like, God, that's super tragic.
He was
From that.
24.
I know. That's crazy.
I know.
And then Puff Daddy came out with the song dedicated to him, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
from Sting.
Yeah.
That was actually in the news recently. Did you see that?
No.
Puff Daddy did a podcast or an interview, and he said that he had to pay Sting $5,000 a day because he didn't get the rights to the song.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
It was like last week.
Yeah, I literally did see that. That's a lot of money. It's like like $3 or $4 million a year.
Oh, man.
Sting said it's true, but they're friends now, and
he's like, hey, like,
I'm sure it was not that much.
They worked it out. Like, they're probably worth it. It's like, let's give me $2 million, we're good.
Okay, so the theories of Notorious B.I.G. Yeah?
Yeah.
You ready? Okay, so in 2002, Randall Sullivan released a book called Labyrinth, and it compiled evidence by retired LAPD detective Russell Poole. Do you remember Russell Poole?
No.
Oh, wait. Was he the guy that Tupac
Yes.
told to fuck off?
No. Russell Poole is the detective that was working on the Tupac case.
and he went crazy and he got fired.
yeah.
And he got let go and, all that sort of thing. But he had some good theories and some good police work where he thought that Suge Knight was part of it.
Ah.
So also Russell Poole was working on the murder of Biggie. Right? His theory was that Suge Knight, the co-founder of Death Row Records, was a blood affiliated person and was accused of conspiring with somebody named David Mack. David Mack was an LAPD officer. David Mack also moonlighted as a death row security employee.
Okay.
Right? So he was an LAPD officer, and then at nights and the weekends, he'd go to the Missy Elliott events, and he would protect for Death Row, which was Tupac's and
Suge Knight's record label. Yeah.
Right.
So the theory is that David Mack conspired with Amir Muhammad to kill Biggie.
And who's Amir?
Also is an associate of Mack's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we know if Mac was doing any kind of security or anything there that night at the museum at that party?
Yeah, that'd be good to know. That'd be interesting.
There is some loose evidence that suggests that.
Okay. Yeah, if he was one of the drivers, that'd be
More sketch, yeah.
He's like, no, it's green.
But again,
it's about
this
to turn yellow. Trust me.
But again, this is the guy. Remember we were talking about Russell Poole, and he's a methodical detective.
They even said he was a good detective.
Like even if he was crazy or a zealot,
Yeah.
he still was a good
detective.
cop.
He still was a good cop.
Yeah, exactly.
He even had people, his captain
Yes,
said he was a
exactly.
good cop.
So he had evidence, quote unquote, that the Muhammad guy was the shooter, supported by Mac.
I also think that it's unfortunate. I think this guy had gotten to the point where he was on the brink of insanity. So it's hard to believe what he's saying, even though if it could be true.
Yeah.
But that sounds like it could be true because if it sounds like, the guy is in his pocket and he probably has some, major dirt on him and shit. And it's like, he's gonna do
either
whatever.
that or just money because clearly Suge paid $3 million
that's what I'm saying. He's
to
in his
cremate
pocket, right?
a body.
Yeah.
I remember that.
literally,
I remember that.
Did he cremate it with a fucking nuclear warhead? Jesus Christ, $3 million? Cash?
All
Yeah,
gold.
cash. And then the guy dipped.
On top of being paid off by Suge, he probably was fucking scared to death of
I know,
Suge,
it's
right?
like, I have to
Totally.
if I don't
Like
kill,
everybody
I'll
else
be killed.
was. Everybody else is still.
I'm still.
I'm still.
I'm
Dude, if
terrified.
was in this state, I'd probably leave. Yeah. Get the fuck out.
Just imagine Suge shows up at a family barbecue.
I'd shoot him immediately. With no record. There would be no questions. There'd be no communication. I would shoot him instantly.
Local podcaster.
And I would tell the cops, I'm like, it's Suge Knight. What do you want me to do? They'd be like, good point. Like, I would have shot him too.
So in March of 2005, Biggie's family actually filed a wrongful death claim against the LAPD. And it was based on Russell Poole's evidence.
Oh, okay.
So at that point, they were, nobody's getting charged.
We're
going to sue the LAPD for a wrongful death suit.
But there's
that's a civil.
But what is the evidence?
So
though?
it's kind of like this.
Because if they weren't involved at all.
Yeah, right. How does that work?
It's basically saying that they are liable for the death of Biggie.
Because some dude shot
them? Or
because they have evidence that an LAPD...
Oh, okay.
Yes, they have evidence that the LAPD had evidence to make an arrest, but they never did.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
And there was a cop involved.
Oh, see, that's why I'm saying...
Right.
So they're saying, we have exhausted all resources. Nobody's getting arrested. We're gonna sue people.
Because I thought it was a point. I'm gonna sue LAPD because the wrongful death of my dog Archie. They could have done something about this.
Exactly.
I need repercussions. Pay me.
No, okay, fine. That makes sense.
That doesn't make sense. That does make sense.
So, unfortunately,
but did they win?
No, unfortunately, the suit was dropped before the trial began, and
settled.
FBI dismissed it as
they probably quote unquote discredited maybe the evidence. It wasn't like strong enough to hold up in court. Maybe
2 years later, Biggie's family filed another wrongful death lawsuit against the city of Los Angeles.
Against the earth.
Yeah.
They alleged, or they said, that another 2 officers that were affiliated with Death Row admitted that they conspired to murder and participated in the murder of Christopher Wallace. The Wallace family said the LAPD consciously concealed this officer's involvement in the murder of Wallace, but a U.S. district judge dismissed it in December of 2007.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
I think it's a stupid lawsuit anyway. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's just me.
No, same.
So months after Biggie's murder, Officer Mack and another officer named Perez were convicted for crimes that were not related.
I mean, they were dirty. They were clearly dirty.
So,
no one's saying they're not.
Yeah, Mack 100%. Mack was convicted for a bank robbery.
What?
Yeah. Perez was convicted for stealing cocaine.
Like from the evidence locker?
Yeah.
Whoops, it is in.
So then recently, one of their cellmates told investigators, said Perez and Mack were involved with Death Row Records. Perez was involved with Death Row through Officer Mack. They went to all their parties and all their events. Mm-hmm. Perez was working security. Perez had a cell phone. Perez said he called David Mack on his cell phone and told Mack that Biggie Smalls was in his truck. Perez never said he set up Biggie Smalls, but I have heard that he had something to do with the murder, according to the prisoner.
Okay, this is super... It's just
such
a stretch.
It's a stretch.
Perez is a man. Perez has weapons.
Okay, so now nothing has happened. We fast forward all the way to March 2017.
Oh, this is 10 years later.
Yeah. Valletta Wallace,
that's
Biggie's mom. Biggie's mom said the following: I have a very good idea who murdered Christopher. I genuinely believe the LAPD knows exactly who did it too.
Oh.
They've done their investigation, but they refuse to move forward. I don't know why they haven't arrested who was involved. It seems to me that it's one giant conspiracy. And someone is definitely being protected somewhere down the line.
We should have emailed her.
Yeah.
There's no closure for me until the murderer is behind bars and sentenced. And that's Biggie's mom.
So I have a little
theory,
little nugget. It came from my wife. And do you know who owns the publishing rights to Biggie?
No.
Puffy?
Yep.
Oh, yeah?
Does.
So P. Diddy owns the publishing rights. So P. Diddy bought the publishing rights.
When? Yeah.
I believe it was right after he died.
Really?
For like $200K.
Wow, what a deal.
$200K for those publishing rights.
What a deal.
$200K.
Right?
Like, get the fuck out of here.
If somebody offered you that deal, would you take it?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I would borrow. I would. You know how
I
much
would
money?
get a diner's card.
You know how much money he's
anything.
made off of diners cards?
Anything.
I don't even think they make diners cards anymore.
If they did, I'd get it.
Yeah. No, but Liddy's made tens of millions of dollars off that.
Yeah, interesting.
And also, it's according to Lil C's. So Lil C's had said that Biggie was actually planning to leave Bad Boy Records
really?
for a better deal.
I never heard of that though.
Yeah, so apparently he was going to leave Bad Boy Records. So the conspiracy being P. Diddy, is like, this is when P. Diddy just started.
Yeah.
This is his only legit rapper with Bad Boy.
Do you have nobody else? Who else was part of Bad Boy?
Well, there eventually a lot of people, but
he had Mace. That was a big one too. Remember Mace? Like, dude, he fucking blew up for a little bit.
That was after Biggie.
Yeah, I love it
it?
though.
Yeah, 100%. 100%
okay,
after
fine.
Biggie.
Sorry. But yeah,
I
nobody.
think
Nobody else.
at the
Definitely
time,
not on.
There was
Biggie's
other
level.
people, but Biggie was his golden goose.
Yes.
So if Biggie leaves, he's fucked. He loses all credibility.
Suge at least had.
Dude, Suge had like everybody.
Snoop,
bro.
yeah,
Suge,
He had
Snoop.
Snoop.
Yeah,
Right?
he had like
Dre.
He had Dre. He had everybody.
Yeah, I don't know who else, but
So I think he would have tanked, and so
It's suspect.
it's plausible.
Follow the money.
It's
kind of thing.
plausible
It's a
that
follow the money.
he, organized this thing. His driver speeds through the yellow. He organizes like these guys. He's involved. He didn't do it himself, but he's involved with setting up him getting killed. That way, he's not. He didn't leave me. He dies. He's instantly immortalized. Artists are always bigger after death. He buys his fucking publishing rights for like pennies on the dollar. Then after his death, releases 5 albums. 5.
True.
3 new albums and then two collection albums.
Yeah.
Like, come on. That's a lot of. It's more albums than he did while he was alive. I'm just saying. It's just a conspiracy.
that's a stretch.
It's just a
That's a
conspiracy.
stretch.
It's just a
It
conspiracy.
is
It's a
an interesting one.
conspiracy, yeah.
I always like to kind of go follow the money
And that, I mean, and that's
Do you know
where
what I
all
mean?
the money went.
because that's the motive, right?
I'm just saying.
Is that the number one motive?
Well, for most,
I don't know
all
about
things?
number one, but
No, of all.
no,
like,
in murders,
things
in
and,
murders,
like-
the murders.
like nefarious.
I think it's
It's mo-
revenge.
it's
I think it's more
revenge
revenge.
is more?
like more than money.
Dude, if you look statistically in terms of all murders, no, it's. Do you know how much forensic files me and my wife watch? Jesus Christ, I've watched hundreds of episodes.
Fucking CSI expert over here.
money, right?
No, it's 3 things. It's money, it's sexual related,
Yeah,
or it's relationship related. Like, so it is like a revenge type thing, but like it's usually okay. I killed my wife to get the insurance money, or
Okay.
or I killed out of a lust. Oh, we got in a fucking argument with my wife and I kill her because we got pissed.
Right.
Or I find out my wife's cheating on me, so I kill her and the dude she's
And the
fucking.
guy, yeah.
So it's like those are the main reasons. Obviously,
Or-
like,
okay.
All right. That's an interesting theory.
it is a theory.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying it is
I
a
know.
theory.
Yeah.
Because
It's an
there
interesting
is
theory.
a lot of things, especially him being able to buy his publishing rights for $200K.
Yeah.
Even if you look now,
That's back to
the
me.
classic example is someone's now selling their publishing rights. Fucking
Yeah, I noticed that.
Bieber sold his publishing rights for
Justin?
$200 million.
Timberlake did too.
Yeah, Timberlake sold his for like 150 mil.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Dude, everyone,
know that.
everyone's selling their publishing
I'd
rights.
rather have $100-200 million now.
Than make 500
It's kind of like the
50
lotto
years.
with me.
I take the cash
You know,
out.
I'm gonna take
Yeah.
the cash out.
I'll pay the taxes.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. All
Yeah,
right.
so that's a theory.
I thought what I found when I was looking into this, because I also did this with Tupac. You know what I mean? Like they kind of go hand in hand. But it seemed like there were more outrageous theories about Tupac than there were about Biggie.
Oh, for sure. Because no one's like Biggie's alive.
Yeah.
That's true.
He's like,
That's true.
Yeah. Why? And I couldn't figure out why. I don't know.
He doesn't have
You
an
know?
aunt in Cuba, so
Yeah.
So he's out.
I don't know.
Yeah, that. And
maybe
also,
he's in Jamaica.
he died right away, whereas Tupac, lived
Lived for
for
a
like
while.
a week, I think it was,
Yeah, it was
7
like- it
days.
was like
5
4
days,
or 5
5
days.
days. Yeah. Something like that.
So
So there's that.
There's
That's
that.
Yeah. All right. And he died with $100,000.
I know, which is bizarre.
Still bizarre. Yeah.
I don't understand that.
All right. So
What
where
do
you at?
What do you believe? Yeah. What,
yeah,
Me?
you were gonna say something.
where are you at, Eric? Still deciding.
Honestly, I feel like Tupac's is more clear cut than Biggie's. I feel like Biggie's is I don't
Well, at least
know.
with
I have
Tupac's,
no
it was a
idea.
confrontation.
Like
really,
Tupac,
that
I'm like,
night.
yeah, and
Yeah,
Tupac, I'm like, okay, I kind of feel like Orlando Anderson did it with somebody else, maybe, but with Biggie,
It's really
You're like, who?
yeah, there's no, I don't. I mean, sure, the officers, and maybe there was collusion there. And
Maybe.
okay,
I don't
but
know.
who?
Yeah,
Who was the mastermind with them?
that's true.
Maybe they were the peons.
Well, there was that guy with the bow tie.
I know.
and
Who's the guy with the bow tie?
I know. Like, my God, like he's
Yeah.
like, and why is he wearing a bow? Like,
Honestly,
Well, he was at that party.
No, but
oh, maybe he was
Right?
at the
Yeah.
party. Yeah,
You know,
that's actually a good point. They
Yeah.
should have, but they should have cross-referenced that
So-
with like who was the punk.
so
True.
now I don't want to. This might sound racist. So Sean, help me out. Sean, help me out.
I'll be
But
your
what-
PRA
Yeah,
here.
what black community wears bow ties
Muslims.
and nice clothes? Muslims.
Muslims.
Mm.
And they do
Well,
it. It's actually
Right?
it's actually
it's not
actually
like,
a good
we're
thing.
not, like,
It's actually a
we're
good
not
thing for
fishing
them.
here,
No,
right?
no, they
this is a thing.
they make a note.
Yeah.
They make a note to dress nicely. They
Yes.
want to dress nice. They
And
want to
bow
they want to
ties
look
too, right?
They,
Isn't that a
They
thing?
always do bow ties.
Yes.
Always. They don't wear regular ties. They
So I
only
feel
wear
like
bow ties.
maybe
because
that's a string. Like
no, but the thing
I don't know.
I don't
have anything to back
trust
that.
me.
You know what I mean? But it
I
seems
literally
weird.
thought the same exact thing. But the Muslims are super devout, and they're not into.
That's true.
When you're a real Muslim, you're
Yeah.
not into killing people.
No.
Yeah,
At all.
yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Usually,
not-
you're not like a secret gangster.
No, I'm
No,
not
you don't
necessarily
care-
saying.
they don't really give a shit about money. They don't really
Right.
care
Yeah.
about that. So
I'm not-
I don't think
I'm
that's.
not saying that it's the Muslim community as a whole. I'm more
No.
just saying there's something there that if I wanted to dedicate my life and be a detective, I would go down that route.
I'm sure it'd be
So
right.
I'd be
yeah.
like, okay, what is that? Why is he wearing a bow tie in a ghetto situation?
yeah, because
You know
I
what
was
I mean?
thinking even at the
No, it was
party.
not ghetto. It was like a.
It was a gangster rap party.
no.
Dude, there
You
was, like,
said it
blood
was
that
a.
was
He's
Crips
wearing. It was a vibe party, Vibe
It was a
magazine.
vibe party.
Yeah,
Like, okay, fine. There's a bunch of rappers,
Yeah, I
and
guess so. Maybe that's right.
but it wasn't
he was like an
block
agent.
party.
He was like an agent. Yeah, it was like a block party. Yeah, it's like wear your jeans, bro.
Yeah.
What are you doing? wearing this?
So if to answer it like definitively, I would say because remember if you remember the Tupac one, I was more on the side of Orlando Anderson did
Yeah,
it, and
'cause
that's
that's-
actually kind of I feel like there's a conspiracy.
Dude, I'm gonna say mine.
But what is the conspiracy?
I don't even have a. I'm grasping.
You just
I
feel like
don't
there
even
is
have.
a
I
conspiracy.
feel like there is one, but I don't have
You
one
just
that I
don't know what
like,
it is.
Yeah.
and I don't have one that I like.
I like the P Diddy one. That's me.
I like.
I do.
I like the idea of that off-duty cop that worked for Death
for
Row,
sure, Suge, yeah.
and
Yeah.
he's the one that set it all up to take Biggie out.
Yeah,
Why?
but there has to have been
Because
some mastermind behind that, right?
well, that
Maybe
was
it's
him.
Suge.
It was him and Suge. Yes.
Oh,
So you're saying Suge did the
Suge's
whole-
pulling the strings.
You're at the Suge is everything.
I know, right?
Man.
He's a bad man.
Jorge.
He's a
He is
bad dude.
guy. He's a super bad guy. Like,
Okay, so you're saying that you think Suge orchestrated both.
I think Suge definitely. Yeah, that's contradictory. But no,
no, not really, because Suge, well, it's not
Suge
contradictory.
just loves to
No,
take people out.
Yeah,
I
fuck
don't
yeah.
know.
Such a good bad guy.
I know, right?
Maybe because, like, you know, because Suge was also like West
Me,
Coast,
the
and
bad
maybe he
guy.
thought like, okay, this East Coast motherfuckers want to talk shit. Like, I'll show them what happens. The East Coast motherfuckers talk shit.
That's what I'm saying,
They get
man.
killed.
Like, what was it? About a year that passed? Was it
6
Or-
months.
6 months?
6 months.
Okay,
yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Some time had passed since Tupac's death, and there was a lot of shit talking still going on about East Coast, West Coast shit, and
and it was-
his label was dragged through that every single time.
Yeah.
And I also think
true.
it was probably more. It wasn't like really Biggie talking shit, but it maybe it just been P Diddy talking shit. Because I know they were like, shit.
He did nothing.
Because Suge and P Diddy had a thing where they would always talk shit to each
That's
other.
right,
And
that's
so
right.
he was probably like, "Oh, I got this new fucking hot rapper, bitch. You fucking suck." And he's
Right.
like, "Oh, okay. I don't want to hurt him. I'm gonna kill him just to hurt P Diddy."
Right.
So that's possible.
And so I think that the LAPD does know at least a very good idea of who it is.
But maybe they don't have the evidence.
Exactly. From the research I've done, it's they didn't have solid concrete evidence that would be able to have a case that would hold up.
Yeah.
So they can't prosecute really.
I see.
And there was also definitely some shadiness going on from the research I did of like people wouldn't confirm, details.
And at the time, the LAPD was hella corrupt.
Exactly.
Just like super corrupt. at the time.
Exactly.
I just think that the person who gained the most, and by I mean the most, I mean gained, was like the perfect outcome for him.
Yeah.
It's just see when something's too perfect, you're like, sweet. I just fucking made out like a band, $200K.
I would agree that there's some.
but
I'm
there's
not
some,
saying he did it. P did it. You're fine. I'm not accusing
I know,
you. I'm
but
just
I
saying
would-
you
I
might
would
have been
agree.
involved.
I would agree that there's skeletons there.
Oh, for sure. I think there was some.
So
Do you know what I mean?
where
Like,
do we
so-
get that Biggie wanted to leave Bad Boy?
That is from Little C's.
Okay.
So Little C's came out.
It's just a rumor, really. Like,
Well,
we don't really know.
I mean,
Like,
Little,
close friend.
we don't
Little
have any
C's
other...
was clearly his close friend.
friend.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
So
That's
like,
true.
He was,
I don't
was
know
with
where
him
else.
in a lot
true.
of the story.
I don't know where else I would get. Close friends the best we're gonna get.
Here's what I
Well, like because but there was the same rumor with Tupac that he was wanting to leave Death Row, but I have heard that from multiple sources. When you do the research, there's multiple sources that Tupac was saying that.
Well, then Sugar fucking gave him like,
Oh,
like you want to get out of prison, bitch? Like sign the dotted line.
write your name on this napkin. This napkin.
This napkin here.
Well,
Legally binding.
it's not a bad thing to just say, hey, we're stumped on something.
True.
You know what I mean?
I actually,
Like this-
I have my feeling about it, but
Yeah.
I'm not very confident
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
I'm like no confidence.
Yeah. I'm there too. I'm just stumped with it, honestly. The more
But
documentaries I watched, the more things I read, everything, I got less and less convinced about everything, and I got more confused.
But the thing is, like, I think we all agree that it wasn't just there's something there.
Sure, it was a hit.
There's some shit.
Oh, yeah.
It was a hit.
There's some shit going down.
Remember the white car?
Yeah, like with the Toyota 4Runner. What are you doing?
Yeah, what the
Yes.
fuck was that?
Because they got in between the two cars, so
Yes.
I guess a second car couldn't ram them or some shit.
Right.
See, this was like organized.
Something.
This is an
Something,
organized.
It was definitely organized.
Something. Yeah. All right. Well,
We'd love to hear what you guys
Biggie's
think.
mom, Valletta.
Valletta. Is it Valletta?
Yeah,
We're
so.
with you. We're with you. We're with you.
Hey, if you, we would love to have you. You know, you want to send us a voice note, and we can put it on the podcast. Try to get you some more exposure.
There you go. That's what we got tonight.
Yeah, please message us. Hit us up on IG. Email us. You can leave comments, asking questions. We really love to get you guys feedback. We want to get you guys involved. We want you to, be a part of this with us because obviously we don't know everything, not even close.
Yeah, did we miss something? Let us know and hit us up.
Absolutely. So post haste, my hasting.
Sincerely yours. With
Sincerely hasting with yours.
Nighty night.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the show. If you want to reach out to us, please email us at info@theconspiracypodcast.com. You can check us out on Instagram at @conspiracypodcast. Also, don't forget to subscribe. You can catch a new podcast almost every week. Just hit the little subscribe button at the top. It's a plus sign. We love show ideas, corrections, hate mail. Thanks a bunch.